Hello. I first want to thank you for this opportunity for letting me showcase myself for your district. My name is Lori LaFell. I grew up on a small dairy farm in Newton, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Manitowoc. Currently, I live in Sharon with my husband, my two kids, and our two dogs. On the dairy farm, we had about 75 head of cattle, hardworking as always as a dairy farmer. When I was about 12, we lost the farm to a fire. And the reason that I mention that is because my parents worked so hard to rebuild some of the barn structures and raise some beef cattle, and then decided to do some cash cropping, which turned into be a pretty profitable business. And my mom ended up going back to school 40 hours a week and worked 40 hours a week at Walmart. And their struggles and their determination have really helped mold me into the person that I am today. As a kid, my mom also taught me her love for sports, hoping that I would kind of pick up on that and love them too. And boy, lucky for her, I did. Here are some pictures of my awesome family. My husband Josh and I have been married for 7 years. My stepson Kyle is in his second year at MSOE for mechanical engineering. My hilarious and sassy daughter Sophie is 3, and bubbly little baby Claire is 10 months old. I attended UW-Platteville for my undergrad, and while I was there, I played rugby for 4 years and several intramural sports. I also coached softball at Platteville High School. I got my master's degree through UW-La Crosse through their Learning Community Program. Amazing program, by the way. I studied professional development, and it really made me take a deeper look inside myself as an educator and really just a professional in general and a person. And it really made me set my goals a lot higher for myself and hold myself to a higher standard. One of the biggest aha moments that I had while I was in this program was when we read the book Teaching with the Brain in Mind. It changed much of my outlook on education in the way that it should be. It needs to be much more interactive. Now, I already know that, but let me explain. This book is the reason that I chose to do my action research project, testing the effects of adding physical activity to second graders studying for their weekly vocabulary tests. When students would come into my gym, they would do relay races. I had their vocabulary words and the definitions cut up and scattered on the other side of the gym. They would take turns going one at a time down to the other end, picking up one piece of paper and bringing it back. When they got back, the next one would go. When they got all the pieces of paper, they worked together to match the definition to the word. And in the group that actually did that every single time that they had gym, their test scores went up 95% in just 6 weeks. The other group, no change. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. I've been a physical education teacher for 10 years in Beloit. I started at 47% full-time at 4 elementary schools in February 2007, and the very next year I was offered a full-time position. I traveled between 2 to 4 schools for the first 5 years teaching kindergarten through 5th grade, and for the last 5 years I have been at just one school teaching 4K through 3rd grade. The first couple of years I had about 250 students, and now I have over 500. Now sit back, relax, and here are a few highlights of me as a professional and what I would bring to Elkhorn. I believe that healthy, active kids make better learners, and it is my job to prepare them physically and mentally to be lifelong active learners. I strive to show students that PE and being active is a great way to help their body and to be better students in the classroom as well. Exercise grows brain cells. It has been proven over and over again. I am a firm believer that we need to have more physical education and movement in the schools. This is the time that we need to teach the next generation how important it is to be physically active and to lead a healthy lifestyle. The pictures that were just scrolled through are a few amazing bulletin boards I've created for my school. Last year, my PDP was to keep better track of progress and assessments. I always have done gradebooks by hand and wanted something different. A co-teacher of mine turned me on to TeacherKit. I can add every class I have and track everything I need to. It's easy to track daily points, formative and summative assessments. This is one thing that I am always working on improving, seeing as it is such an important part of tracking progress of the students and seeing if there are things that I need to focus on more, reteach, or adapt for students. It obviously helps with grading as well. I can also keep attendance, seating charts, and track behavior in this app if needed. Here is just one example of how I've used technology in my teaching. I actually have this created on a document that the students can fill in directly on their school iPad or can print and write by hand. They wear a pedometer, estimate how many steps it will take from one point to the next, step it out, then figure out the difference. Pedometers are a huge part of my PE class every year. The other obvious great thing about this activity is that the students have to read and do math as well. I enjoy incorporating other subjects into my class. I have been co-chair and chair of our elementary PE department since 2011, with duties such as budget and leading PLCs and PDs. I also coordinated and ran our district's 4-5 citywide track meet, which included duties such as making sure all PE teachers had the correct paperwork for creating their teams, creating my own teams, ordering ribbons, reserving the grounds and buses, finding and assigning over 100 volunteers, and making sure the days ran smoothly. During my time in Beloit, I was a PEP grant facilitator from 2010 to 2012, attended 2 Gopher PEP summits. I have attended 4 WHPE conventions, been part of my school's PBIS committee for the last 2 years. I've written curriculum, and I'm part of my school's crisis and MERT teams. I also have certifications and trainings in nonviolent crisis intervention, restorative practices, tribes, love and logic, trauma-sensitive schools, CPR, IED, and EpiPen. One of my favorite things to do every year is coordinate a week-long Jump Rope for Heart event that includes the whole school. I have a kickoff assembly each year presented by our American Heart Association representative. Our week-long Jump Rope for Heart events take place during their PE classes. I've also helped coordinate a district-wide event and after-school events as well. My students have challenged the students of another school to raise more money and keep the Jump Rope for Heart trophy the other PE teacher and I made. For the last 3 years, we have had that honor. The top donation raising class also gets to keep my Jump Rope for Heart trophy that I received as a kid over 25 years ago in their room for the rest of the year. Adding these incentives has taken our event from raising $670 the first year in 2007 to raising a whopping $4,217.22 for the American Heart Association just this year. It doesn't matter how you move, as long as you do. Whether you like to play sports or just like to go for walks, bike rides, kayaking, swimming, etc., movement is everything. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. The more you move, the easier it is to stay active and stay on the path towards a healthier you. If you don't drive your car, it slowly breaks down. If you don't put good fuel in your car, it won't run right. Same goes for your body. I live to educate children on the importance of physical activity and eating healthy. Goal setting is a great way to keep yourself accountable and on track. I believe that students should be taught to set goals for themselves, come up with a plan on how to achieve these goals, and be taught on how to be responsible for their own well-being. Such an important piece of teaching them how to become healthy and happy. So, why am I the best fit? I'm hardworking, I love to teach PE, and I want what's best for students. I am more than willing to go that extra mile to learn about each student, find out what they like, and try to add that into what we do in PE every day. I am more than happy to ask for help and advice from other staff and educators. I am a very fast learner. I strive to show the kids that it is important to be healthy and active by leading by example. I enjoy working with students. I'm knowledgeable with physical education curriculum and different learning styles, and I'm very willing to work with and learn from others to ensure each student gets the physical and health education that they deserve. I have a passion for PE that grows every year. I am energetic, I'm funny, I'm a hard worker, and I think I would be a great addition to your district. Thank you for your time and consideration. Have a great day.